team decided that they were going to they were going to set up a program that they could try to collect water to send over to the islands that were devastated so greatly. And started up Tuesday morning up at the, which store were they at? Walmart on Dorchester Road in the upper end. Then yesterday they were at the Lowe's at Northwoods, and today they were at Sam's. And we challenged Lowe's a little bit. I called a former manager and he got engaged, and proud to report on their behalf that as of this afternoon, they had raised, and it's called SWAT, Sending Water to Abaco and Treasure Cay. And City Hall jumped in on board and helped them, and with the help from the community, Lowe's lists other businesses. Operation SWAT has collected over 4,000 cases of water, have collected generators, chainsaws, tarps, and numerous toiletries. We filled up a 20-foot container as of yesterday, and we were filling up a 40-foot container today to go help these people that were so devastated. And they also received over $1,000 in cash that people didn't know what to give and would just hand them a $10 bill or what have you. But the islands caught such a horrible blow from the storm. And if it hadn't sat there as long as it had, our outcome would have probably been even worse. And so we're doing our part to make sure that those folks get as much relief as we can to help them. But I'm very proud of the police department and the efforts that they did. So when you see, got a couple of them here tonight, thank them for what they did. And it was amazing that the Lowe's, both Lowe's in North Charleston, and today I got a call and we went over to James Island Lowe's, gave us 16 pallets of water, which is more than a flat truck load. They also gave us cans for gas, and they also gave us some of the nicest covers that people can put over their stuff to protect it that I've ever seen. So if you walk into a Lowe's in the next week, tap somebody on the back and say thank you, because they really came through to help us help people that are in dire need. And that's what makes this world we live in a great world, is we don't know people a lot of times. We don't have any relationship with them, but in time of need, they're all brothers and sisters. And so I just want to send a little shout out to the police department for their effort. Thank them very much. Okay, we're going to call our council meeting to order. I ask that you please rise for the pledge, the prayer followed by the pledge. Gracious Father God, we thank you for this day. We thank you that we have received great blessings. We pray for those who have not been as blessed as we have. We pray for those that are suffering. We ask that you give them strength and courage and wisdom and understanding. Give us the same as we reach out. Help those that need our help, knowing that we're doing it in the name of love, in the name of peace. Thank you for your wisdom and your guidance in what we say and what we do. In thy name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Council, as you know, are we on here, folks? As you know, at our first meeting each month, we bring on our new hires so that they can be introduced to you as the council and the citizens that are viewing or either here, so that they can understand that they are part of Team North Charleston now, and they're here to make life as good as it can be for the citizens that we have and to try to work together for the betterment of the city of North Charleston. As you can see, we've got quite a large grouping tonight. So as I call your name, you'll start down at this end and then line up across, and if we have to, we'll create a second row. But please come forward when I call your name. We had to do the print smaller, so I have to put on my glasses because the list was so long. Human Resources, Angela Wimberly. Public Works, Ezma Nelson. Police Department, Jared Martin, a CSO2. Joshua Watson, a CSO. And a young lady that we stole from one of the local TV stations to replace Spencer Pryor. Carly Ash, our PO Public Information Officer. She's been quite busy her first couple of weeks with us. Matthew Kirk, Police Officer. Justin Bonnell, Police Officer. Patrick Callahan, Police Officer. Cameron Miller, Police Officer. And Wyatt Helmbeck, Breck, Police Officer. From our fire department, and if I mess up some of these names, for God's sake, forgive me. Fire Inspector 1, Brittany Brew. Fire Inspector 1, Katie LaPera. Fire Investigator, David Beiser. And the rest of these will be firefighters. Cohen Etheridge. Robert Spencer III. Graham Hilly, Jacqueline Wynn, is it Wynn, dear? Thank you. Trevon Pringle, Alex Chavez, Sarah Monty, Caleb Edgehill, Daniel Wright, Abraham Espellet. How bad did I mess that one, Abraham? Close enough? Okay. Mark Cavala, Warren Chapman, Griffin Hoffman, Jamal Frazier, Nora Lamondola, and Brittany Chambers. This is the biggest hiring class we've had in some time. I hope y'all didn't blow in with the storm, but we're very proud that you've decided to become a part of North Charleston. One of the greatest roles that we can have, everybody has to have a job, everybody has to make a living, but when you can get a job where you're serving other people, it's sort of a double bonus. You get paid, but you also make other people's lives better. And so we thank you for choosing North Charleston to do that. I'm going to ask you to turn around and look at your council members. These are the folks that each one represents an individual district within the city, and each one of them will vote on the budgets to give you your pay increases and furnish you the equipment and materials that you need to do your job. And they love this city, and they love the employees of this city, and as a team, we work together to make life better for all of our folks. You can turn around now. Gosh, I feel like a drill sergeant. I've never had that pleasure before, I'll tell you. But really, public service is one of the greatest things that you can ever do. It's a calling, it's not just a job. Because you'll have other people that have an opportunity, especially young kids, when you're around them that look up and they see that uniform or whatever you're doing, and they really learn to appreciate you and what you do, and hopefully some of them decide to follow in your tracks. But these folks out here in the city of North Charleston are some of the finest people in the world, and you're here to serve them and make their lives better. And so we salute you for becoming part of Team North Charleston. We hope we have many fine years together serving our great people. You're not only dismissed, you can leave if you don't want to stay and be bored by the rest of our meeting. Thank you for coming tonight. God bless you, and let's have a great time together. I'm going to ask Mr. Joseph Wright to come forward, please. Is Mr. Wright available from the Literacy Association? Well, if he's not here, you can come on down. Ladies, come on down. Madam Clerk, would you please read the proclamation?
A proclamation whereas the need for a highly literate citizenry in North Charleston increases as our community moves toward an increasingly technological future, and whereas more than 15,000 adults, or approximately 23% of the adults in North Charleston, do not have a high school credential and experience literacy issues that impact severely on their lives and families, their ability to work productively, and their full participation as citizens and residents of our city and state. And whereas Trident Literacy Association provides individualized instruction to more than 750 adults in the city of North Charleston annually to help them improve their skills, earn their GED and career readiness credential, learn English as a second language, enter continuing education, take advantage of apprenticeship opportunities, enter higher education, the military, or the job market. And whereas the City of North Charleston deems it important to recognize and highlight the economic and societal importance of literacy, now therefore be it resolved that I, R. Keith Summey, Mayor of the City of North Charleston, do hereby proclaim September 2019 as Literacy Month and September 23rd through the 29th, 2019 as National Adult Education and Family Literacy Week in North Charleston, South Carolina, and urge my fellow citizens to learn more about the importance of literacy and to become involved with literacy in our community.
We owe a great deal of appreciation to Trident Literacy for the number of folks that they have helped over the years to be prepared more for society. I never will forget the story of one gentleman who had become a grandfather, and he couldn't read. And through Trident Literacy, he was able to read, and for the first time sit down with his young grandson and read a book to him. That meant the world to him because it helped him attach more to that child. Our goal should never have it where any adult doesn't have the opportunity to read and understand what they're reading. And Trident Literacy has helped hundreds and hundreds of people achieve that mark and help their careers and move forward because of their willingness to enhance the quality of life of these individuals they come in contact with on a daily basis. We're very proud that they're located in North Charleston. We're very proud of the work that they do and the quality of life changes that they've been able to make in so many people's lives. So I want to present this to you ladies and give you an opportunity to make some remarks. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you very much, Mayor Summey and all the members of council. This is the 15th year that I've been here to take the opportunity to do this proclamation and recognize International Literacy Month. And I have with me tonight Nell Stone, who runs our program in partnership with the Father to Father program and also teaches English as a second language. So it's my goal never to come back here again. It's my goal to go out of business and because we're no longer needed, but I don't think that's going to happen in my lifetime. So if I could, I'd like to share with you some of the hopes and emotions our students expressed in August at our recent achievement ceremony. These are students whose life trajectories have completely changed because of Trident literacy. I realized my children need me for education and to be an educated provider. It's the biggest accomplishment I want to achieve so I can start college, so I can have a great career and a future for myself and my children. I have a baby on the way, and I want a better life for both of us. I want to be a productive member of society. I moved to a new country with a new language just to see my family again and start a new life. Our students come to us from a variety of backgrounds. Some did not gain the school readiness skills as children because their parents had low literacy skills, so they started school behind their peers and they never caught up. Some simply made bad choices and need a second chance. Some face illness, bullying, or abandonment. They all face multiple barriers such as transportation, homelessness, lack of child care, no job skills, and a host of others. Most live in poverty. But all of them are on their way to a better life for themselves and their families, and they're willing to work hard to achieve their goals. In North Charleston, we provide instruction for students at our flagship site in Aviation Square, at the Sheriff Alcannon Detention Center, and in partnership with the Father to Father program. One of our students is Courtney. Courtney dropped out of school when she was 17. She was a single mother, and transportation was difficult. Now she's 21. She's the one who said she wants a better future for herself and her children. She earned her GED last year, and now she's enrolled in Trident Tech. Another student is Luther. Luther dropped out of school when he was 17 because he wasn't doing very well. He started night school, but he never finished. Now he's 40. He wanted to get his GED because he said, I promised my children that if they finish high school, I would get my GED. And he also now is getting a promotion at work. Another one is Carrie. Carrie dropped out of school when he was 17 and spent 14 months in prison. He said, I lost all desire. But now at 28, he came to Trident Literacy. He earned his GED last year, and he said, to me, it's the beginning of the rest of my life. I want to be a productive member of society. Plans to go to college and earn a degree and work with animals. Last one is Bradley. Bradley lives in a group home. He's 21. He's been working odd jobs to earn money, and he also depends on public assistance. He earned his GED last year, and now he's in his second semester at Trident Tech, and he's doing very well. He was accepted into the apprenticeship program, and soon he'll have a good job with a local company so he can earn a good salary while he's in school. In North Charleston, as the proclamation said, we provide instruction to more than 700 adults every year, and each of them has a special story and a special set of circumstances like these that brought them to this point in their lives. We help them turn their lives around through our individual holistic approach, meeting them where they are and meeting their needs and helping them navigate the bumps in the road. From our program, they go on to higher education, additional job training programs, apprenticeship opportunities, they join the military, or they go directly into the job market, thus contributing to our vibrant economy and reversing the generational cycle of illiteracy and poverty. Thank you again for the opportunity to bring this to your attention and to listen to me for 15 years. And unless I retire, I'll be back next year.
All right, Madam Clerk, move forward with the printed agenda.
The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from August 22nd.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson? Aye. Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy.
Aye.
The next item on the agenda is an ordinance for final reading with a public hearing authorizing the mayor to execute a Watson Hill development agreement between the city of North Charleston and Wiley Fork Watson Hill LLC.
Move for approval.
Second.
And a second to do the public hearing. This is an advertised public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on this issue, please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and give us your remarks. Anyone wishing to speak on this issue? Any questions by council? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
And Mayor Summy.
Aye.
The next item on the agenda is an ordinance for final reading to approve the authorizing and the issuance and sale of not exceeding $22 million in limited obligation bonds for Noisette off-base TIF.
Move for approval.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
And Mayor Summy.
Aye.
The next item is an ordinance authorizing and directing the closing and abandonment of portions of Ackaby Road and Seymour Avenue rights-of-way in City Council District 10.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
And Mayor Summy.
Aye.
The next item is an ordinance for final reading authorizing the sale of seized property located at 7697 Hillendale Road, North Charleston, to Christopher Best and Tabitha Craven in the amount of $90,001.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, the clerk, please call the roll.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy.
Aye.
The next item is an ordinance for final reading authorizing the mayor to execute appropriate documents for easement right-of-way for electrical service from Dominion Energy to the North Charleston Aquatic Center located on Patriot Boulevard in Dorchester County.
Move for approval. Second.
Motion doubled and a second. Any questions by council? Anybody gets a chance, ride by and look at that facility. It's really coming together, and it's going to be one of the finest swimming facilities, at least in the state of South Carolina, if not more than that. Clerk, please call the roll.
Ms. Jerome?
Aye.
Mr. Brinson?
Aye.
Mr. Olds?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Hart?
Aye.
Mr. King? Mr. Skipper?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mayor Summy.
Aye.
The next item is first reading an ordinance rezoning the property addressed as 1816 Orvid Street, identified as Charleston County TMS number 469-12-00, parcel 203, from R1 Single Family Residential to B1 Limited Business, and a concurrent amendment to the Comprehensive Plan's future land use map designation for that same parcel, changing from single family traditional to neighborhood commercial in City Council District 10.
Planning Department report.
Okay, as we heard, we have a rezoning at 1816 Orvid Street. The existing zonings are R1 Single Family Residential, and the proposal is for B1 Limited Business. The area is approximately 8,177 square feet in Council District 10. There you have an aerial view of the property at the intersection of North Carolina Avenue and Orvid Street, and a zoomed out aerial of the neighborhood. The proposed rezoning request is to rezone it from R1 Single Family Residential, shown in the light yellow on the map, to B1 Limited Business. And an amendment to the Comprehensive Plan's future land use map would be required to change it from single family traditional to neighborhood commercial. Subject property is located at the corner of Orvid Street and North Carolina Avenue in the Chicora Place neighborhood. Property meets the minimum lot size requirements for the requested rezoning of the B1 district, and there is nearby B1 zone property located south of Quitman Creek on Sproul Avenue. There's a recent rezoning on Success Street and North Carolina Avenue. While the neighborhood North Carolina Avenue is transitioning to the north and south with additional neighborhood commercial uses, the parcel is currently surrounded by residential use and zoning. Therefore, staff has recommended denial, and the Planning Commission has recommended approval.
Okay, any questions by council? Without
Mr.
objections, it's referred to
Mr.
the
Mayor?
public. Yes.
I know we're going to public safety, which is a week away. If I'm right, this is Chicora Cherokee, and they meet on the 4th Monday of the month. I'm not sure if this was able to meet back with the city council or their council, or community council or not, and that would be one of my great concerns, being the point we have one with planning commission approving and staff going against it. Just want to make sure that coming to next week, if it's left up to me, they're not meeting with council or with community council, then I'm not going to be for it. I'm going to have the community council support.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions by council? Without objection, it's referred to the Public Safety Committee, which meets next Thursday at 5 p.m.
The next item is an ordinance for first reading, rezoning the properties addressed as 2445 Raymond Avenue and 2500 Alston Avenue, identified as Charleston County TMS numbers 475-01, parcel 77, and 475-02, parcel 29, from R1 Single Family Residential to R2 Multifamily Residential, and a concurrent amendment to the Comprehensive Plan's future land use map designation for those same parcels, changing from redevelopment priority to multifamily residential.
Okay, we have a proposed rezoning at 2445 Raymond Avenue and 2500 Alston Avenue. Existing zoning is R1 Single Family Residential, and the proposal is to go to R2 Multifamily Residential. Property is approximately 12 acres total in Council District 6. There you have an aerial of the property that abuts both Raymond Avenue and Alston Avenue, and a zoomed out aerial of the property in the Midland Park area. Proposed rezoning request is to rezone it from R1 Single Family Residential to R2 Multifamily Residential, shown in orange there on the map. And the proposed map amendment is required to the comprehensive plan to designate it from redevelopment priority to multifamily residential. Subject parcels are located off Ward Avenue between Alston and Raymond Avenue in the Midland Park area of the city. Comprehensive Plan's future land use map establishes a future land use of redevelopment priority, which places an emphasis on housing and therefore supports the rezoning request. Much of the adjacent land is also zoned R2 in the vicinity, with the exception of the county property. Based on the adjacent R2 uses and zoning and support from the Comprehensive Plan, staff has recommended approval, and the Planning Commission's recommended approval.
Any questions by council?
Mayor Summy,
Yes, ma'am.
I would just like to say that I have many residents here from Midland Park. I think they didn't know they couldn't speak tonight, but I just need them to be recognized because they are a force. And I know this is going to the committee meeting, and that is the time that y'all would be able to speak.
And without objection, it is referred to the Public Safety Committee, which meets at 5 p.m. next Thursday.
The next item on the agenda is an ordinance for first reading, rezoning the properties addressed as 2504 and 2506 Bennett Yard Road, identified as Charleston County TMS numbers 411-05, parcels 4 and 5, from R1 Single Family Residential to B1 Limited Business, and a concurrent amendment to the Comprehensive Plan's future land use map designation for that same parcel, changing from single-family suburban to neighborhood commercial in Council District 5.
Okay, we have a proposed rezoning at 2504 and 2506 Bennett Yard Road. The existing zoning is R1 Single Family Residential, and the proposal is for B1 Limited Business. Property is approximately 22,000 square feet and it's located in Council District 5. There you have an aerial of the two properties along Bennett Yard Road and a zoomed out version of the neighborhood. The proposed rezoning is to rezone it from R1 Single Family Residential, shown there in the light yellow, to B2 General Business, shown in red on the map. And this would require a map amendment to the future land use map within the comprehensive plan, changing the designation from single-family suburban to neighborhood commercial. Subject properties are located at the entrance into the Brentwood neighborhood, one parcel back from Dorchester Road. The applicant has requested that the properties be rezoned from R1 to B1, and the property does meet the minimum lot size requirements. Parcels are surrounded on 3 sides by commercial uses, and there is B1 in the neighborhood. Based on the considerable commercial uses and zoning surrounding the properties and the intent of the B1 Limited Business District to be compatible with residential uses, staff has recommended approval, and the Planning Commission is also recommending approval.
Any questions by council?
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Megan, thank you for the presentation. Has the president's been made aware of this? Or did the applicant share that they've spoken with anybody in the community?
We didn't have anyone from the community show up at the Planning Commission meeting, I believe.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
Megan, I see a lot of B2, but I don't see any B1 on this map.
The B1 is a couple blocks down, so it's not shown in the map.
Okay.
Can you refer me to where those specifically?
That's,
Towards Spur, towards?
Charles, you want to interject there?
Where the
Yeah, Rochester.
Yes.
B1 is located just on the other side of the 526 interchange, about 5.
How about the map on that?
all right. Thank you.
Down yonder.
Thank you, Megan.
Any more questions by council? Hearing none without objection, it's referred to the Public Safety Committee, which meets at 5 p.m. next Thursday.
The next ordinance for first reading is rezoning the properties addressed at 7119 Cross County Road, identified as Charleston County TMS numbers 397, parcel 432, and portions of 397-05, parcel 777, from R1 Single Family Residential and R2 Multifamily Residential to M1 Light Industrial, and a concurrent amendment to the Comprehensive Plan's future land use map designation for those same portions of parcels 39705, parcel 777, changing from conservation and multifamily residential to light industrial in Council District 6.
Okay, we have a rezoning at 7119 Cross County Road. And again, the existing zonings R1 Single Family Residential and R2 Multifamily, and the request is for M1 Light Industrial. The properties together total approximately 14 acres and are in Council District 6. There you have an area of the property shown in the triangle and kind of parallel property, and then a zoomed out version of the property along Cross County Road. And the proposed rezoning is to rezone it from R1 Single Family Residential and R2, shown there in light yellow and orange on the map, to M1 Light Industrial, which is shown in purple on the map. And this would require a map amendment to the future land use map within the comprehensive plan, changing it to light industrial designation. Subject parcels are located off Cross County Road and are under a power line easement that runs northward towards Peppermill Parkway. The applicant is applying for a rezoning to unify all of the properties under the M1 zoning. Both of the properties meet all of the Lot 1 size requirements for M1 zoning. Based on the adjacent M1 uses and zoning and the buffer between the subject parcel and the Forest Hills neighborhood, staff has recommended approval, and the Planning Commission is also recommending approval.
Any questions by council? Without objection, it's referred to the Public Safety Committee, which meets at 5 p.m. next Thursday.
Okay, thank you.
Any other items to be brought before the body by council?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to thank Chief Bolano for allowing us to view the mobile medical unit out front. That was very nice. I was able to take some of the residents from Midland Park through it as well. And I just wanted to thank him for that.
It's, Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I think we should all project our pride in our city as we dealt with that storm. Whether we monitored Mr. Barfield's alerts, the first responders out patrolling in the middle of the storm, to the recovery that's ongoing right now. Our city did a great job. And you know, Mr. Mayor, I watched yesterday as you happily, almost gleefully, organized that Lowe's relief effort, and we should be mighty proud of you too, because that is some record haul we're sending off to the Bahamas, thanks to you and to Lowe's. And I'm going to go by Lowe's tomorrow and pat them on the back. Good work, all. Good work, all.
And I felt real good when I got a phone call that Lowe's on Dorchester was helping us. And then the next day, that Lowe's on Rivers, the Northwoods area, was helping us. But I was really shocked today when I got a call to go to James Island, and that Lowe's on James Island was going to be helping us as well. But if today we were set up over in the shopping area at Sam's right in front of the door, to watch the people that saw our SWAT truck there as they were going in and ask what's going on. And then to come out one right after the other with a case of water or diapers. And you know, we hadn't even thought about diapers. And other toiletries that they brought out. And some said, I just don't know what to get. So they would hand a $10 bill or a $20 bill. But when things like that happens, it makes you really come to understand that at the end of the day, we're all one people. We work together, and when someone is hurting, we help. When someone is in need, we reach out. And I couldn't be more proud of our entire staffs that were engaged. The other day, when I called Public Works and I said, listen, our guys are going out picking up this trash. It is 94 degrees. So they loaded a container in my car, and we put Gatorade in it, and we rode around handing out Gatorade to the guys on the back of the trucks, reminding them that we want you to work hard, but we don't want you to kill yourself out here. We want to be here to help you get through all this. Our entire team, North Charleston, has done an amazing job. God blessed us that we didn't get hit with what we could have, but I think this attitude of, since we didn't get it, what we're doing is helping those who did. And I think we will be rewarded for that someday.
Mayor Summey?
Yes, ma'am.
Usually I get a lot of phone calls about the ditches and this thing and that thing all over my district. I cannot believe I have not gotten one phone call. So what you're saying about Public Works and everything, they really did work. I mean, they really did work. And the amount of sand that they took round to the elderly people, it was just so amazing.
It was a team effort, I can assure you, and everyone that was engaged did a wonderful job, and I just thank our team for doing what they did. Any other things to be brought up?
Just saying thank you, city, thank you.
I appreciate it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the meeting is adjourned.